Hi everyone, I did a video recently on how to live on one income and save money, and after that video I realised that actually I do tons more things to save money. So in that video I was talking about 5 sort of headlines on how to save money, and I'll link that below. But today I've got 10 more tips on how to save money, how we save money and continue to live on one income. So the first thing is I learned how to cut hair. So I went to the barber and I watched really closely how they cut my husband's hair and my son's hair, and I thought I can do this. So I went on Amazon, I bought some clippers with all the like the graded combs, and it was about £25. And so I've been cutting their hair for about 5 years. I can kind of do one haircut well. And that's enough. So if you think about it, we were spending probably £10 on a haircut every 6 weeks for both of them. So we've saved a huge amount of money in the last 5 years by me learning how to cut hair. And with that, a couple of years ago, probably about 3 or 4 years ago, I asked my mum if she would buy me some hair cutting scissors, proper hairdressing scissors, for Christmas. They're quite expensive, but by having those scissors, actually you do a much better job with really nice sharp scissors. And I started cutting my daughter's hair as well, and I learned how to do some layers just by going on YouTube. So that's a big money saver for us. The second thing is I thought about how I could exploit my skills. So I love organising. I've done some organising projects for other people. I can sew, I do some upholstery. So recently I helped a friend of mine renovate a chair, and she's a hairdresser. So we did a bit of a skill swap. So she then cut my hair in return. So that was really good. The third thing, and I talked about this in my other video, was about having the National Trust membership, which is fantastic. But it's even better if you ask friends and family for a membership, for Christmas or your birthday, a family membership, or they can club together, because it's not cheap. Last year the renewal was about over £100, but if you have a family buy that for you, then that's a present that pays over and over. The fourth thing is that we've got a vegetable patch in our garden. I think we put it in about 4 or 5 years ago, and it's basically a raised bed. And what I do is I split it into a grid, just using some string strung from each side. So it's split into 12 squares, about a metre square for each, and I just grow different vegetables and herbs in each section. And last year, or the last few years, I've done really well on things like salad, spinach, herbs, carrots. I've done beetroot, have been brilliant, courgette, mange too did really well as well. So that has been last year I set myself a challenge, which was that I didn't want to buy any salad leaves throughout the whole of the summer. I wanted to grow everything, and I love rocket, and rocket's really easy to grow. So that's what we did, and I achieved that just by growing it in my vegetable patch. And I love it because my kids get involved with growing. I also ask for Christmas and birthdays, I ask for seeds. So I say, oh, I want some vegetable seeds to try in my veg patch, and which means it's hardly costing me anything. I also ask around for compost and manure, because I live in quite a rural location, so I can usually get manure for free, so that I can keep my veg patch really fertile. Along with that, I often have gluts of vegetables, and friends have gluts of vegetables, and we do swaps. Around where I live, there'll be people that put out crates with apples in, where you can just take them for free. And if you go online, you can easily find out how you can store apples and keep them separate, etc., or make chutneys and things, so that you can either keep them or you can also learn how to freeze a lot of vegetables and just keep them going throughout the rest of the year. My fourth thing is exercise, and I do like to exercise about 3 times a week. Me and my husband, we used to have gym memberships that were over £1,000 a year. That all stopped really when we had our first child. But now all my exercise is done online, so I use Fitness Blender, which is a brilliant channel on YouTube. It's also, through their website, you can put in, through the search term, you can put in like cardio 30 minutes, strength 20 minutes, and things like that, so that you can find a fitness video which really suits your needs, and it's all free. It's fantastic. I also use Pop Sugar, which is kind of more like a exercise class. There'll be 3 or 4 people doing the class on the screen, which is just a different, I like to mix it up and do those sorts of exercise routines sometimes. I will link that down below. The next thing, I think I'm on tip 6 now, is library books and DVDs. So obviously the books are free from the library, we get cheap DVDs from the library. There's also a lot of activities going on that I don't think people always know about, so it's worth finding out. So our local library, they have a Lego club, they have a comic club. Both I think are £1 to go, but then they have a free coding club, a computer coding club. They also do sessions on 3D printing. So, you know, it's worth finding out what they do and what they do for free. With books as well, we use a really good website, which is the Oxford Owls website, and I will link that below. It's fantastic. You can go on, and if you're, particularly if your child's in Key Stage 1 or Foundation Stage, and you can look at the books, you can read the books online, and then you can find the band level that they're at, and you can move them up if you feel that they're doing well. And that's really useful. You can feed that back then to the class teacher, because reception class teachers or Year 1 teachers will know about the Oxford Owl books. So that's a really good website. Also, your child might be using I Am Learning at school. Ask about it, and if they are, get the login, because there's fantastic learning that they can be doing online at home, and they can get points, they can do their homework online. So check that one out, I Am Learning, that's a good one. Number 7 now is that I always pack us picnics and lunchboxes. We rarely will eat out if we're going for a day out, because that obviously makes the day really expensive. So I've really streamlined what I do for lunchboxes, and I freeze a lot. I mean, at one stage, I also froze sandwiches and wraps when I was working, because I didn't have the time. I tend to make everything fresh now, but I do have lots of things in my freezer ready to go, like homemade cookies. I've got things like sausages, like the little cocktail sausages that I've split into a few and then wrap them in foil, put them in the freezer. I've got small pieces of cake, and I even actually those yogurt pouches, which are frubes, which I put in the freezer, and they're good because they serve as a little ice pack for their lunchbox as well during the day. So I get all of those bits out of the freezer, and then the only thing I need to make is a sandwich and put some fruit in. So I think it's probably something I could do as a separate video, but saving on picnics and lunch boxes, that saves a huge amount of money. On the same line as eating, with eating out, I have let friends and family know that we really appreciate having gift cards. So we'll often get a gift card for ZZ's or Prezzo or Ask or somewhere like that, so that we can go as a family meal. And obviously before I go, I always check for vouchers to see whether I can get money off. Most places will just accept a code on your telephone, on your mobile phone, rather than a print off. So yeah, eating out with a gift card. I've also, in the past, if someone's asked me what I wanted, I've asked for a Marks and Spencer's gift card, and then I've used it to buy a dine-in for 2 meal, which is nice as a treat occasionally to eat in, or I get something where I'm freezing parts of it so that actually I'm using it for meals down the line, so that's a good way. Tip 9 is budgeting for birthdays and Christmas. I'm actually already buying for Christmas and it is still March, and I am going to do a separate video about this because I've got quite a lot of tips on how to save money at Christmas. So I have obviously a birthday gift box, of several actually gift boxes, where I put gifts that I find throughout the year in the sales, and I can just get them out when I need them. I have a rule about birthday parties for kids where I don't like to spend any more than £5, so it's a real challenge, but because it's so expensive if you're buying for tons and tons of kids for parties, so that's something that I've managed to maintain in most cases. And the final point is just simplifying. I simplify as much as I can, and one area that I simplify is cleaning. So I will use an all-purpose cleaner for everything in my house. I have an all-purpose cleaner and I have a glass cleaner, and to be honest that's about it for everything. Where okay, I've got some leather spray which I use to condition my sofa, but for cleaning I simplify it as much as I can, so when I'm cleaning my house I can be really efficient when I'm going around. I'm not needing to go and get extra things, I'm not cluttering up my cupboards with extra cleaning items. So simplifying everything that I can, and that means I'm also decluttering, which makes cleaning a lot easier. So those are my 10 tips for saving money. So it does link with my other video on how to live on one income, but I just wanted to expand on that, and I hope these tips have helped you. You might be able to take it forward in your life, so that you can maintain a one income lifestyle. I think being a stay-at-home mum is so important. You know, my kids, they're smart little cookies, and I think partly that's down to me being with them, being at home with them, taking an interest, taking an active part in their learning, being able to come home and read with them, do their homework when it isn't too late in the evening. I could do it with them straight after school when you really get their best attention. And I think I'm really lucky that I'm able to do those things. So if you're thinking of going down to one income, then see if you can apply some of these tips. Let me know how you get on. If you've liked this video, then give me a thumbs up so I know, and subscribe for more money saving, more organising, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!